จะมี SIA 2โครงการว่าของทุกทีมชาติ
เราว่าเป็นภาพรวมก่อนไหม SIA เอาภาพรวม
Okay, now it is live on YouTube. You can continue to present the issue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, in 1980s and 1990s, since developing countries faced debt crisis, they requested assistance from International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. And in order to borrow from them, developing countries needed to go through structural adjustment programs, as these are the conditions for the financial assistance. And these programs aims to stabilize economies by implementing policies such as reducing public spending, privatizing state-owned enterprises, and liberalizing trade. While structural adjustment programs were intended to address economic issues, they often led to negative social outcomes, including increased poverty, inequality, and social unrest. So that's the new approach proposed to those developing countries faced financial crisis. And since the impact of structural adjustment programs highlighted the need for more comprehensive and socially sensitive approaches to development. Human development approach, so-called human development approach, shifted the focus from purely economic measures to well-being of individuals. This fourth approach, human development approach, measures development through indicators like education, healthcare, income, and aiming to enhance people's capabilities and quality of life. And this approach recognized that the economic growth alone does not guarantee improved well-being and emphasized empowerment. So these are the third and fourth development concept appeared during 1980s and 90s. Let me go back to the this table. And in year 2000, we enter into the stage where those emerging developing countries, so-called BRICS countries, made a high economic growth. Those are the countries like China, Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa. And during this period, we also experienced environmental degradation. Those economy, while they achieve a high economic growth, at the same time, they had a negative impact to the environment from the high economic activities. And in 2010s, then we are in a society that thanks to the high growth of those major developing countries, we were able to reduce poverty quite a lot during this period. But at the same time, we also observe the persistent existence of poverty in our society. So international community tried to come up with a measure for this environment. Let me go down to fifth concept, which is sustainable development paradigm. Yeah, as I mentioned that during the high economic growth, of the BRICS countries, we have a growing concern on environment. And concept of sustainable development gained importance. This paradigm recognized that the economic, social, and environmental aspects are interconnected and must be balanced for long-term well-being. So this is the fifth approach the international community came up, given the high growth made by the BRICS countries. And the sixth approach is Sustainable Development Goals approach. In year 2015, UN adopted the Sustainable Development Goals. And these goals are agreed to be achieved not only by developing countries, but also by developed countries, given that poverty issues remain both in the developed and developing countries. And as you know well, that the SDGs provide a comprehensive framework that addresses a wide range of development issues, including poverty, inequality, education, healthcare, environment, sustainability, and more. So those are the six major development concepts promoted during the past 7 decades after the World War II. And this is how we reached the current SDG programs adopted by the UN in year 2015. Let me explain how Thailand's case could be interpreted during this period. I modified the first chart by adding Thailand external events and Thai economy and policies in this table. So Thailand is different from other newly independent developed countries in 1940s and 50s and 60s. Thailand has been making progress to do many reforms in the public sector, initiated by so-called Chakri reform under the King Chulalongkorn, which happened in 1880s. And so by the time Thailand signed the peace agreement in 1946 and joined the United Nations in 1947, Thailand has already have good institutions and also infrastructure, such as railways, to start economic development. And in 1950s, Thailand tried to further strengthen the infrastructure sectors by investing in irrigation, ports, and railways. And then we have Vietnam War, where both Eastern Bloc and Western Bloc supported South and North Vietnam. And Thailand supported the United States for its involvement with Vietnam War. And Thailand was able to receive economic assistance and also technical assistance from the United States to accelerate the provision of infrastructure under the Cold War situation. And Thailand was able to receive many foreign direct investments starting in 1960s. In 1970s, equally as other countries, Thailand also suffered from two oil shocks, and economic growth a little bit slowed down by these international events. In 1980s, Thailand's government was able to sustain the conservative fiscal policy and was able to manage financial discipline, and Thailand was able to receive a huge inflow of foreign direct investment in 1980s. However, as I explained in the earlier part, Thailand faced a financial crisis in 1997 when Thai private sector and commercial banks borrowed too much from foreign banks, and then went through a financial crisis and restructuring. And by 2000, then government introduced so-called dual track policy, which promotes both economic growth and reducing poverty. So Thailand's policy consistent with the global development concept, which try to balance economic growth and social sector development in year 2000. And in 2010s, economy grows constantly during the past 20 years. And Thailand is now trying to strengthen its competitiveness in manufacturing, both manufacturing and service sectors. And now government has this aspiration to become a developed countries by year 2030 in 10, 15 years time from now. So Thailand's case also, in most cases, try to apply the development concept, which showed up during the past 70 years. So finally, section 3, I would like to summarize the presentation that we went through the past 7 decades, and try to identify which are the development concept promoted by the international community during the past 70 years. And by now, under the SDGs, we have 3 key development global development agendas we are still trying to achieve. First one is poverty alleviation. Although we were able to reduce the poverty significantly during the past few decades, a significant portion of global population still lives in poverty. And addressing development challenges in reducing poverty and improving living conditions for this vulnerable population is still very crucial. So number 1 is poverty alleviation. Second topic agenda is global inequality. There are large disparities between developed and developing nations, as well as inequality within societies. So therefore, addressing development issues in creating more equitable and just society is also important. This is number 2. And the third development agenda is sustainability. Addressing to meet present development needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs is vital. It involves considering environmental, social, and economic dimensions in decision-making process. So these are the 3 current key development agenda trying to pursue by international community, and we are going to solve many development issues by focusing those key agendas, these three key development agendas. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. And let me close my presentation. And if you have any questions, please send me an email or message. And I will try to answer those questions as much as possible.